I want to tell you about a date that I went on that I thought was pretty indicative of sort of the climate of where dating feels like it's at these days. But it could also just be my experience. And also, if you're not a queer person, maybe you're curious about what dating is like. So, my friend, who I love because she said, I think we need to get back to setting people up and not just relying on apps. And I think that that's wonderful. And also, I find that so many people that I ask just tell me that they don't have gay friends, which I think is weird and like slightly H-phobic, but that's an aside. So she's like, I'm going to set it up. I prefer it if we do it blind, but do you really want to see what it looks like? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to trust the process and I'm going to go along with it. And she said, it'll be me and I'll bring another friend along so that it isn't weird in case there's like no match, no vibe or whatever. So we get to the date. The date is cool. The venue is cool. My friend did an excellent job picking a venue. The ambiance is really nice. I don't actually drink, but the cocktail menu looked really cool. The people who I was with seemed to enjoy the cocktails that they had. And then the guy said, maybe halfway through, after one of the people was asking us about our zodiac signs and telling us about how compatible we were, the guy said that he was heroically single. Now, I was curious as to what that meant. And so I said, oh, like, what does that mean? And he mentioned that he was emotionally unavailable. And that was halfway through. And, in that moment, I realized, you know what, this is okay. Like, you put yourself out there. You got a chance to catch up with your friend. You got a chance to go to a new venue, a new place. And you're grateful that someone thought of you because in many cases, people are not thinking about how to set you up. And so the date ended. I had to run to catch the bus. And so I was like, oh, like I'll have our mutual friend like connect us. But I actually just figured neither of us have reached out to the other person. And, he said he's emotionally unavailable. So for me, that was enough. It's like if you liked enough of what you saw to be emotionally available, you would reach out. But I will say that I sent my friend some money because I just thought that's so cool that she did that. And I would love it for drinks, not randomly, but like, because I don't drink and she didn't have to go out of her way to set this up. And I just thought that was really cool of her. And so I would just love it if I had more friends who could set me up on dates with people who are actually emotionally available and potentially maybe interested in me. I'm not sure about how I feel about going on blind dates. I think my friend had a good sense of how our personalities would vibe together. And so I could definitely see that. I didn't give a ton of specifics physically about what I wanted. But I'm also of the mindset that we should hold space for actually connecting with someone without the physical being the first thing, because we can make a lot of presumptions about who people are. And also, I think it's best to experience the whole person to see what their full energy is, because pictures are so static. But I think I would do it again. I would just hope that that the person is who goes on the date would actually be available emotionally. And maybe the person who is set up with me in the future is I don't know, interested in me and sort of learning more about me. I don't know if there were a lot of questions that he asked me, but it is what it is.